Hello, everyone. Welcome. A happy time zone to all of you who are watching along. I'm so glad that you all are here and are ready to go. Today, we're doing something a little different than usual. I tend to focus on a lot of lore and gameplay stuff here on the channel, but I thought I would take some time today to actually do a proper art review of a game that has just released, Arknights Endfield, and we'll talk about how the character designs of a lot of these folks helps to tell us a little bit about the game's story, which I think is cool. It's a really nice excuse for me to talk about Arknights, which is something that I haven't been able to talk a lot about previously. As well as also talking about art. Also, there are two of me that are on screen right now. Hello. So for folks who might not be aware, I am an artist. Actually, everything that you're seeing on screen, except for the Arknights official media in the background, is something that I have illustrated. My model is something that I illustrated. All the chat bubbles are something I illustrated. My desk, my background, those trees that are hanging out behind us. Yeah, I know, right? Wow. Who knew? Oh my God. But yeah, and I thought it would be a really cool excuse to talk about character design, which is something I'm very passionate about, but don't get enough excuses to talk about. So I think it's gonna be wonderful. I also have played a couple of days of the game to try and pick up as many characters as I could, but I still put together a PowerPoint presentation because it's me, and we do Yumi PowerPoints here. So we're going to start off with a Yumi PowerPoint, talking a little bit about what Arknights is for folks who are not familiar, as well as how Endfield is different from the main Arknights series. And then we'll hop into the game. I'm going to show off a bunch of characters that I've got, talking about their designs. We're going to have positives and negatives today. There are some designs that I think are fantastic. There are some designs that I think they could have been a little bolder with. I think that they were playing it too safe with some of their designs. And then I have some Gacha currency saved up from playing the game for the last couple days. So I will have some Gacha polls at the very end for you all. So I look forward to that. I also have some other fun disclaimers for you folks who are perhaps interested in checking this out. I think there's some important stuff for you folks to know about this game before you hop into it. So I know, polls. But yeah, if you folks end up really liking this stream today, please let me know. Leave comments on this video, share it around if you think it's helpful, because I would love to do more things like this. I think it's a great excuse to actually talk about character design, all of the work that goes into it, and how we can learn a little bit about the characters in the story based on how they are illustrated and put together, which is super cool, so... PowerPoint, Yumi, and Gacha, we win in here. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'm going to proceed forward to the next slide so that I stop having a picture of me right next to myself. So we could hop into this here. Okay, so for folks who are not familiar with Arknights, it is a post-apocalyptic, pretty, I'm going to say messed up society. Where humanity is struggling with a pandemic of oropathy. So this is something that is caused by a mineral which is used for pretty much everything, called originium. And originium is a huge problem because if you are exposed to it for long periods of time, or if for some reason you obtain blood from someone who has been infected with it through like a transfusion or a whole bunch of other ways, you will be infected with oropathy, which is a lethal disease. It is something that will kill you once you have contracted it. And the original Arknights, the whole point of the game is trying to find a cure for oropathy. The main character is literally a doctor trying to find some way to save all of the people who have been infected with this, like, cancerous ore. While also trying to get by in society. Some notable traits of people who have Arypathy is they'll start sprouting appendages or features that they don't have normally. Most notable are animal-like features. So people will grow ears, like a second set of ears. They'll grow tails that they didn't have before. They'll grow fur and scales and all kinds of things. In the very late stages of Arypathy, people will even have like horrible stony scales that are all over them, protruding out, and it becomes a very life-threatening thing. So this is the base of Arknights. This is the original game, what Endfield is based on. In the world of the original Arknights, it is notable that Arypathy was not only a death sentence, but it led to massive discrimination. A bunch of people are scared of folks who have this disease, thinking that if they're just nearby them, they will contract it. So a lot of folks who are suffering from this are ostracized from places. They'll get kicked out of areas if it's revealed that they have this disease. And it's kind of a group that has come together in the original Arknights, not just to try and find a cure for this, but to try and like have a found family together when the rest of society has really abandoned them. If cute ears, why deadly? I agree. I agree. Yeah, no, it is rock cancer. Yeah, so it is a rough thing that a lot of folks are dealing with in some capacity. So what does this mean for the current game that we're actually playing? Well, in the era of Endfield, this is kind of, I've seen some people say this is like in the future, like a couple of generations after the original Arknights. Whereas I've also seen like some discussion about how this might be kind of like an alternate future, not necessarily one set in stone, but like a potential outcome. So you can kind of think of Endfield, I kind of like that as like a potential way for things to go in the future. Yes, 150 years. A life-saving medicine has been developed by the protagonists of the original Arknights. It's not something that will cure this, but it will help those who are affected by it to continue living with regular doses of medicine. So it's kind of like a chronic condition, something that if you don't have medicine for it, you could still die. But yeah, it's yeah, exactly. It's not a cure. It's a medicine to help. Not something that is permanently fixing anything, but it is helping people to avoid a certain doom. There's all sorts of consequences of this. Now that this is something that isn't necessarily a death sentence, so long as you have medicine to it, this has fundamentally changed the way that people who have this disease are treated. So Endfield is kind of a recovering post-apocalyptic society. I say recovering because it's not exactly there. We'll get to that later, but it does have some notable effects on the character designs. This is a world where people can be out and about freely, even if they have Arypathy, and they don't have to worry about being secluded from society or discriminated against. That is something of the past, and that has a huge effect on the character designs, which I think is super cool. So that's something we're going to talk about today. Yeah, that's actually a very good way of putting it. Having this be an analog to HIV, I think is a good way to think about it, because it's something that, especially in the original Arknights, where people were scared of even being near you, even though it couldn't be transmitted that way. I think that is a very good comparison. When you're taking the medicine, do you lose the cute ears? No. The cute ears stay. It just makes it so that your vitals are more stabilized. So yeah. Welcome, folks, if you're just joining. We're just hopping into the character design section of this. So yeah, let's talk about what impact this new world has on the character designs. I think a really awesome place to start is talking about the original Arknights assistant character, Amiya. She has just, I really love her design. She's very iconic for Arknights. This was actually the original reason that I personally picked up the game to check out. Was because I loved her design so much. I love like the huge ears that she's got, which are like something that there's no possible way for her to hide whatsoever. But she's also got a very rugged look to her. The outfit that she's wearing, her expression, everything that's going on here. This is someone who is living through a period of time where existing as she does is potential for massive discrimination. Wherever she might go, there's a chance that people will turn her away. So she's got a huge overcoat, something that is very clearly weatherproof, because she might have to be outdoors a whole lot. You can see that it's very faded in some parts as well. Like there's a bit of color to it, but this is a coat that she has worn for a long time, something that has seen a lot of use. And I think this is something that's consistent across a lot of the original Arknights series, is there's a very rugged feel to a lot of their character designs. Even the more flashier Arknights characters, you can really feel that, like, this is the society that they're living in. She even has, like, a cute little bit of ruffles at the front, like a little necktie that she's got going on there, or it's part of her shirt that she's got going on. But it's very subtle. Everything is muted. A lot of the color design for this is very, it's very subtle. Right? Like it's something where if you look at this, you're like, ah, yes, she is someone who is dressed in a uniform, but she is also someone who has seen a lot and gone through a lot of things. In comparison, let's look at the assistant in Endfield, Perlica. This is a pretty stark difference between these two characters. Perlica is living in a time when people with neuropathy are not discriminated against anymore. There's different problems in her era, but you can already see, like, just the way that they have designed her outfit is a lot more relaxed than Amiya's outfit is. Instead of having this full coat that goes all the way over, something that could protect her, she's instead got this slightly off the shoulder look. Something that's a lot more, like, casual. This is actually, like, it's technically a uniform, but like you can see that she's got a lot of personality to it. Also, most notably, her whole outfit is white. If you're somebody who is out on the streets a lot, somebody who has to move from one location to the next, this is something where having white clothing is not advantageous to you, right? Because, like, it's gonna get dirty really easily. Amiya's outfit is largely black on the outside. It's something that can take a lot of wear and tear without showing it as much. Whereas Perlica's outfit is something where you can tell she's someone who is largely, like, not on the front lines. She's an administrator. She's somebody who... I say administrator, she's an assistant, I should say. She's an assistant who's helping out to make sure things are running smoothly, but her entire design is reflecting this new world that Endfield exists in. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I also agree. I really love the Rhodes Island coat. I think it's really gorgeous on Amiya. I also like that they've gone with kind of a color matching scheme with Perlica. You all know that I'm a huge fan of, like, consistent colors throughout designs. Like, even Perlica's hair is a lighter color. She's got these very floofy ear-like tufts that are coming out of her hair. So I like this a lot because this shows that this is a fundamentally different society that she is living in compared to Amiya. If I had to pick my favorite of the two, I still would pick Amiya. I really love her design a lot. I think it's also one of those designs that's very quickly recognizable. And that's not necessarily a slight on Perlica, it's just Amiya's original design was very, very good. There's also something that a lot of artists talk about, which is a silhouette. If you take a character design and you just make it all completely black or, all one color, can you still roughly tell who that character is? That's generally like one of the hallmarks that people try to go for with character design. I will say it's not a hard rule. There's plenty of awesome character designs that don't have a good silhouette. Like, it's kind of a mess if you try to look at them, but you're like, yes, no, I really love that character design. I think it's wonderful. Tsukitsune, yeah, exactly. I knew Amiya before I knew Arknights. Yeah, she's iconic. I think they did a really good job with making her look very striking compared to a lot of characters. And that helps a lot to bringing together her entire design and the basic design of Arknights overall. Yeah, that's actually an interesting point. For those who are thinking Cat Perlica is a bird lady. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to tell. So I do think that is probably a couple of points off for Perlica's design, as it's not immediately apparent. But I do still like a lot of things about her design, and I even more so like how it informs you that the society that she's living in is very different from the one that Amiya is living in. So that's just the assistance. There's still so many characters to talk about besides that, but I think that looking at the assistants side by side is a good starting point for all of this. So a bunch of characters from Arknights have also been reborn within Endfield, which I think is really cool. A fan favorite for a lot of folks is Laevatain. She is super adorable from the original Arknights. She's got really cute little ram horns and ram ears. She's a very precious person. I really, really love the color design that they did with all of her work too. I'm a sucker for for like a stark red and white in designs, but they've also added a bit of purple within her staff, which is gorgeous. The top of her outfit, I think, is like a great contrast with the whites and browns that are going on. It's wonderful. I really, really love this design. I can't believe I'm saying this though. I love Ardelia. Somehow even more. I think that they did such a great job with this. So, Aya has been reborn as Ardelia in Endfield. It's kind of like I don't know if this is an alternate version of her, if this is like somehow further down the line, one of her children, great-great-great-grandchildren. But I really love this change because even with Aya's original design, if you look really carefully, you can see some of that post-apocalyptic tension that's going on. Her tights are ripped. Her coat that she's wearing has holes in it. It's something that she's worn for a very long time. There's tatters that are literally coming off of her outfit. Whereas Ardelia's version is like very, very, this is a positive world that she's trying to live in, right? Like, this is something where she is not living in a society where she is going to be discriminated against. She is not having to worry about going from one location to the next or living out on the streets in any capacity. This entire outfit is pristine. Her coat doesn't have any holes in it. Her dress is huge and poofy. It's more of like a fashion statement than it is like super functional, because she can actually buy fashionable things. I think this is really cool. Like the comparison between the original version of her, whereas what exists in Endfield, I think they maximum hit the cuteness factor on her. It's super, super adorable. I really love what they did with her design. I think that they knocked it out of the park, making her look very friendly, very excited to be alive. I think this is super cool. And it's really nice to see like a possible future where someone like her could exist and actually have clothes that are not falling apart at the seams, have a home that she can return back to. I think this is very lovely. There's a lot of cool things that they have translated from her original design to this reimagined version that also tell you that she's living in a much more comfortable society for her, which I think is super cool. Yeah, that's also a good point that she has a lot of these themes that, like, a lot of colors that you would typically associate with fire characters, but she is a nature user, which I think is very cool. They're integrating a lot of really cool ideas into these characters, which I think is wonderful. But yes, no, I agree. The sheep are super adorable. I love them so much. It's so wonderful. Yeah, that's actually a really good point too. In her newer design, she doesn't have the laces going all the way up her legs because she doesn't need to. It's sort of a fashion statement, but it's also like a thing out of necessity, right? Like trying to keep her clothing, which is falling apart, like still functioning in some capacity. Whereas look at her cute shoes that she's got in this newer version. I think it's wonderful. We'll get to see her in the game here in just a little bit, but I wanted to point out the comparisons between the OG and the current Endfield version, which I think is super cool. Some other folks that we can see even like subtle changes in the original Arknights. Aurora was a character who was very emblematic of a polar bear. I really, really love her shield, which has these enormous claw-like appendages coming from it. I think that's so cool. But she's also got enormous boots, which are polar bear shaped. She's got this really long white hair with the little polar bear ears and everything. You can tell this is a tank. This is someone who's going to be able to help out your team, but maybe dealing a bit of damage in response too. Whereas this is her version in Endfield. This is Snowshine. You can already see there's some pretty important differences between these two. The thing I really wanted to point out here is the color design is very slightly different between Snowshine and Aurora, but it does make everything a lot more it pops a lot more with Snowshine. She's actually got blues in her design, both dark blues and light blues throughout everything, not just her outfit, but also the shield has a bit of that going on now too. Then I think that's a really cool change because it's a pretty fundamental reshaping of her character as well as how it looks. She's still got the same boots, she's still got the same shield. Her outfit's honestly very similar to her original version, but because she's living in a world that's a lot more accepting of people with neuropathy, she is also a lot more relaxed in her demeanor. I think it's really cool. Yeah, no, isn't that awesome? I think that like this is a cool example of how you can have a very similar character in two different games that have very different vibes to them. I think that that's super cool. I really love how they have done this. Yes, also, as someone who gets very cold, I don't know how she does it. That's too much skin. Is she getting, like, cold doing that? I guess not. I don't know how she does it. I want that superpower, whatever that is, where you're not cold constantly. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see the very slight differences that can make a huge impact on how a character presents between one game to the next, which is cool. Yeah, real polar bear powers. A very distant cousin of bear. Oh, man. So some other examples on the flip side of characters who I would argue are similar thematically between the two games, and why that is important. I think a great example is the current banner character that we've got in Endfield, depending on when you're watching this. This is very shortly after Endfield has released. So this is Snowshine. She is a character from the original Arknights, a fan favorite for a lot of folks. She is super cool. She is just like really hitting on this, I don't know if I want to say friendly, but like you're happy she's on your side, devil aesthetic. Yeah, she's really hitting that really well with a lot of this. A very simple but very striking dress that she's got. She's got a lot of accessories that work really well for a very stark red, orange, and black theme. I'm always a really huge fan of when there's a color grading that shows up, whether you have like black that's bleeding into red or orange in some capacity. I think that's super cool. So yeah, I think that's incredible. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of characters that have those horns tend to be more like lizard or dragon people. But especially with this splash art, I don't know, it's really giving the devil vibes, and it's great. I love it. Whereas this is her variant that exists in Endfield, Laevatain. And I think of all of the designs we've seen, thematically, these two are pretty close to each other. I know that there have been a lot of similarities between some of the other designs we've seen, but the personalities and the overall vibe have been pretty different between them. These two are pretty similar. In the Endfield variant, she has a lot of her outfit is like got a bit of fraying at the ends. The dress actually has flames coming off of it. It's giving the impression of a rougher character than some of the others we've seen. And this is because she's a character who is still on the front lines. But like I said, this is a more friendly world to folks with neuropathy, but that does not mean it is a peaceful world. So there is still conflict that happens. There are still wars that are fought. There's a lot of intense things that are happening, insidious things in the world of Endfield. And Laevatain is at the front of that. She's a character who has had to go into battle more times than she can count. She is somebody who is very familiar with the harsher parts of this world, and her design really reflects that. She's literally on fire. I think that is incredible. It's a really cool, very striking design while still having some elements from the original. I think that they've done a very good job with her. She's also just a very cool within the game itself. I think that's wonderful. Also, thank you for the confirmation that she is more demon than dragon. But yeah, I think they've done a really good job with a lot of the character designs for this. I've been very impressed too with not just these reimaginings of characters, but also the new characters that they have introduced as well. So speaking of, let's go take a look in game. We're going to look at some of the characters that I have pulled for. We're going to talk about their designs, positive and negative. And then we're going to return back to the Yuumi PowerPoint before we make some polls, because I have a couple other slides for you folks. So yeah, hold on, let me go. Look, this was behind us the whole time. All along, this was here. Okay, hold on. Let me go hop into this. Excellent. Actually, I almost wonder. No, I'll do this because then you can hear them talk as well. Okay, let's talk about some characters. So I'm going to show you folks some of the characters we've already talked about, as well as some of the newer characters that are brand new to Endfield. Things that I like about their designs, and things where I wish the devs had pushed harder on particular aspects. Yumi did magic and summoned the game instantly.
Watch this! Awesome, right?
Yeah, I, like many people that you might have seen in the world, I love Chen. I think her design is so cute. I think they have done a really good job of hitting kind of like a halfway point of like streetwear while still being, like practical, unless she's got a lot of things that make it easier for her to carry her weapons. But my God, they've done a great job. Her eyes look fantastic. I'm a huge fan. I love the horns. They do such a great job with horns and tails and Arknights. They do such a good job. In fact, hold on, let's see. There we go. You can see her tail more this way. Look at the little tuft on the end. I love that so much. I don't know. She's really got big dragon energy, and I think that's wonderful. She has a really great animation as she's bobbing around. Huge fan of the twin tails for this. I think she's got like just the right amount of Genki energy. She's like a friend that you didn't know you had, but now you have her and you're having a great time together. I think a lot of the color design for her is fantastic, where her outfit is actually matching her horns. I think that's very clever. I love that a whole bunch. Well, you've got like this portion of her, I think it's a skirt. Based on that, I can see a zipper. I think that's a skirt. It might be a full dress. But I think that's a skirt that she's got going on. I like the light green and the silver on that quite a bit. It's a very subtle but very effective design that they've got. Yes, the March of Endfield. I think that she's super adorable. So I really love this design. I've already talked about Ardelia, but like, my God, she's too precious.
Your footsteps, Professor.
Look at her! I can't handle it. She's so adorable. I, as many of you know, have an affinity for horned people. A lot of characters in a lot of games that have horns. I think if it's done well, I'm generally a fan, and they have done a good job with her horns. She is so floofy, too. They've done a good job with the volume of her hair, which really adds more to the floofy aesthetic, but also everything that she's wearing is very fluffy. Look how huge those sleeves are. She's got multiple layers that helps it to poof out even more. Her coat itself is very poofy. This is a sheep person. It's so precious. And then here's the full look at her. Ah, that's wonderful. I'm gonna be totally real. Upon seeing her actual heels for the first time, I was like, oh no, what if those snap off? I try. Oh, wait, what do you mean locked out due to I was literally just playing. I was going through the screens. Okay, hold on one second. I was going to talk about her heels and the game said no. Okay, hold on one second. I'll get this back. The game didn't believe me. They're like, you can't just be going through the screens, apparently. Give me a second. I'll hop back in. Her heels were too powerful for us. You know, that's actually a fair point. They do look a bit like melted lava, which is kind of appropriate for the volcano lady. Can't observe the drip in peace. Shaking my head. Right, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, hold on. Let me go pull her up again. Let's go. Come on.
Over here and...
Let's go. Okay, perfect. We're back again. Good grief.
This day as well,
Okay.
Professor.
What? No. There we go. Excellent. Okay. I tried to click back onto the screen. Didn't care for it. So yeah, those heels, I am a bit concerned. What if they snap? But it is very striking with the rest of her design. I do like the little bits of red that they've integrated in for our volcano queen. And I also really love her staff, how they've reimagined it. I love how it looks like a bit of ram or sheep horns that we've got going on at the end. It's wonderful. So yeah, I really love her design. She's got the full floof going on. I think they really did a fantastic job with her. Okay, moving on to the next character to talk about.
Let me do something for Enfield.
So this is Akekuri. She is our red fox girl, and she is very adorable. There are some things I like about her design. There's some things I wish that they'd pushed harder for. I do really love the red panda-ness. Her eyebrows are so adorable. I want more characters to have eyebrows like this. I also really like how stark her eyes are compared to her really red hair. I think that having those two really bright colors is very effective for a lot of this. I don't know that the green yellowish that's going on is like working super well with some of that. I wish that they had either gone like harder with some of that. She's got like the red frills that are going on. I almost would have liked more of that across. Oh, she's a Shiba Inu. Here, I thought she was a red panda, but a Shiba Inu works. So I guess that's a concern, is that someone like me was confused about what she was. I guess that makes sense that she's a Shiba Inu. That also works out with her personality and everything, but I would have liked some more, I guess. A little more with her design. I struggle, right? Because I really love red. Like, a lot. Like, I love red so much. But I almost, if she's a Shiba Inu, I almost wonder if they would have gone with like a reddish brown instead, just to really sell the Shiba-ness so that people like me are not confused about her being a red panda. I think that might have sold that just a little bit better. Here's the thing. Characters totally can tie their hair if they want to, but like... I would say from a character design perspective, this one is maybe like a B+, I would say, compared to some of the solid A's and A+ that we've seen so far. I like a lot of things with this. I think the ears are super cute. I love her hair accessories. I love her eyebrows. I love the little ruffles. Might have loved to see even more ruffles, honestly. Like, if you've already got a little bit of the ruffles, it's okay to put some more on there. But yeah, there's just some clashing bits of her design here that I think if they'd changed some of the colors to some of this, it would have, like, immediately bumped this up to an A. So yeah, we may not know what she is, but we all know she's adorable. That's all we need to know. I do agree. That is very correct.
Get a new assignment.
Wolfguard. Our lad. Some things that I like about his design. You can definitely tell that he's somebody who's on the front lines. He's out there fighting the good fight. He's also a gun wielder, which is a thing in this game. There are people who have guns, which already fantastic. I'm a huge fan of casting gun. I think that is fantastic. I also really, really love that he's got like the discontinuous bits of his fur and hair design. He's got like a random stripe that's going through his tail. I like that a lot. I think that works really well with all of the scars and things that he's got too. You aren't 100% sure if he's always had that or if that's something that he's developed over time. I think that works out really well for his design. I also love in his ear tufts as well. They've got this fade effect that's going on where it starts out like gray ear bits, like the tufts at the very bottom. And then we've got a bit of red and it transitions all the way up to blue at the top. I love that. I actually wish there was more of that on his design. I think that's such a cool effect with his ears. I wish that there was more of that going on. I almost wish that there was slightly more color to his hair, something like that to complement it. I suppose maybe that's why the ears are so striking, is because they're different from the rest of it, but I don't know, maybe like a little bit of blue on his vest or something would have been cool. He's got a little bit of blue like on his arm band, but like more blue would have been cool. I think that could have been awesome to really punch this up even more. But as it is, I think that this is really solid. I think they've done a good job of selling his character. I also really like the claws that he's got going on. I think that's very effective for what they're going for here. I think that's super cool. Next up,
Standing by.
I've shown y'all Perlica already, but this is what she looks like in the game. She is the first person that you unlock besides the protagonist. And yeah, I like a lot of animation things with her design. I think the little waggles of those tufts are very adorable. I have already talked about how I really like that her design sells the different vibe of Endfield, where this is a society where, like, this person is not going to have to, like, tough it out on the streets or any, like, jumping from one town to the next. This is a person who is working at a particular site, doesn't have to worry about her clothes getting dirty. She is just, like, living in a different place from the original Arknights. But yeah, agreed. I think they could have sold the bird aspects of her a little harder. I think you definitely can tell with some of her animations. But like, I don't know. I immediately, when I first saw her, was like, oh, she's like a cat person. Even though she doesn't have like a cat tail, I just kind of assumed that like maybe she didn't have a tail. But no, she's a bird person, so I definitely think that, like, yeah, she's a bird. I have learned this literally this stream, so I do think that that leaves something to be desired. So for that reason, as well as the fact that, like, it's hard to compare with Amiya from the original Arknights. I mean, Amiya's design was just absolutely incredible. I do like Perlica's design. I think that there's a couple of things they could have done to, like, make it even more striking. Or to show more of the bird aspects. I thought she was a wolf. I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you at all. I clearly also thought that she was more mammalian based. Anyway, moving on.
Computation.
Next up,
Abandonment.
we have another horned friend. I like her design a lot. She is a techno priest, and I think that's so cool. I really love a lot of the ways that they have taken both like this priestess looking aesthetic and integrated some of the technology to it. I always love characters who have asymmetrical designs. So she's got some extra stuff on one of her horns compared to the other. I love that. I think that that helps to sell and distinguish characters from each other quite a bit. It's not to say that you can't have symmetrical characters that are notable and that look good. There's tons of examples of that. But if you're trying to go for a character who makes an impact, having a bit of asymmetry helps a lot. And we've got that immediately with a lot of her design here, which I think is great. It's a good combination of both like the long flowing outfit, very prim and proper, while also someone who knows her way around computers. Praise be indeed. Oh, and that's helpful to know. She's also one of the demons. But She's a demon priestess who's on our side, who has a kick-ass weapon. I think this looks so cool. Look at this shit. I think that's amazing. They have a really cool design for the weapons in this game for casters, where different casters will have like kind of like a base look to whatever casting weapon that they use. And then like it'll slot in there. So like the thing that's hovering in the middle there, I think that's the thing that can change depending on if you swap out weapons. But I don't know, I think this is cool. I think she's got a very cool guitar-looking weapon. I guess it's more like, I don't know, it's got like buttons on the side. Are we just full hunting horn over here? She's just got a hunting horn that she's using. But yeah, I like this design a lot. She's got a bit of a rugged look to her compared to some of the other characters too. You can see at the very bottom of her dress that it's very asymmetrical. We've got some chunks that are missing from places. We've got some nice designs that are over on the side. I don't know. I like this design a lot. I think it's very creative. Huge fan.
I'm primed for optimal performance.
And next up, we have the speedster Arknight. You know, that's also true.
Contemplation.
Her shoes are also fire. If you go and look at them, I think that's wonderful. Super, super cool. But yeah, so we've got our speedster Arknight. There are some things that I like about her design a lot. I am a huge fan of the really saturated colors that they've got. Arknights is pretty famous for having character designs that are a lot more subtle when it comes to like the color of them. Because in the original Arknights, that is something where a lot of people are trying to keep a low profile. Even some of the most striking designs from Arknights, a lot of the colors tend to be more muted. They don't play around a whole bunch with really saturated colors like this. So seeing this on an Arknights character is really cool. Yeah, no, she's an Uma Musume. She's so fast. Uma and Sume. So yeah, I like this a lot. I also am just, I don't know, I wish that more character designers were more comfortable with like having characters with skin that isn't just stark white. I think there's a lot of really cool shit that you can do. And I really love that Arknights has characters like this. I think that this is really striking. And not just with like the contrast of like the very light lights with the very vibrant blues, but her eyes too are this icy blue. I think that's very gorgeous. Oh, I think it's wonderful. So I'm just saying, more games could like do shit like this. I think that like it's so cool to see characters where you play around with like the different looks with different skin tones. There's like a huge whole world that you can do with that. It's really cool. So yeah, I like her design a lot. You can tell that she's somebody who is, she's on a mission. She's also very fit. Like they're like really showing off that she's got some abs that she's developing there. It's incredible. I'll show you all what she looks like with her weapon. Oh my God. I don't know. There's some great poses that are going on. I also love that she's the speedster as the Uma Musume. I feel like that's fantastic. I feel like that's incredible. So yeah, I like her design a lot. I think that they've done a very good job with this, and I would love, love, love to keep seeing more of this. That would be wonderful. Okay, next up. Oh, I guess I should mention the only thing about her design that I keep staring at is the random belt in the middle. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that, but like, you know what? A single random belt isn't the end of the world. I guess it's potentially where some weapons can go, but I don't know. It looks cool. I guess that's fine. She doesn't have like a million belts. She's got like the one. I think that's great.
Where are we headed?
And next up, we have Avicenna. She, as opposed to our last lady, has so many different things that are going on. Like look at all those zip ties. I think they're zip ties, the white zip ties. It looks like she needs a lot of them to put this thing on. All I can think is that this must be a nightmare to actually put on as a person. But I do love, like, a bit of, like, combat attire. Well, you can tell that she's trying to make it look as cute as possible. She's really trying to, like, make sure to have her own touch for a lot of this. There's tons of arrows that are going on. If I'm being totally real, there's probably too many arrows. There's so many arrows that I'm like, how? How are the arrows doing the arrow thing? But I don't know. I think it looks very good. She's got her cute little bunny tail in the back. She's got the big flowing straps. They're not practical, but they are very stylish as she's going through. Yep, no, she is a rabbit. You did get her right. Yeah, no, thankfully you can tell that she is a rabbit, and then you see from behind she is a rabbit. But yeah, no, I have really liked her voice acting for a lot of this as well. You all are absolutely right. Oh, next up, it's Snowshine. We've talked about Snowshine already, but here's what she looks like in the game. You can immediately see, like, her eyes are so icy blue. I don't know. I think you can really see a lot more of the blue coming through here as opposed to the splash art. She's got a lot of, like, I don't know, like, good, happy energy going on with her. I also love her animation where she's showing up, where she's sledding in. I think that's great. It's a very cute design, even if I am wondering, how is she not freezing to death? I don't know. I don't know how this is possible. I don't know how she's not cold. And then here she is with this absolutely massive guitar sword. This is something where I think they just, like, gave her and this weapon out for folks who started the game. And it's a great combo. I don't know. She's smashing people with guitar swords. I think that's great. Yeah, no, it is pretty metal. I do agree. So yeah, that's Snowshine, y'all. Oh, and I have to talk about Fluorite. Look at this lady. Of all of the, like, I guess they're 4 stars is what they are. They have 4 stars are the lowest level of character, then 5 star, then 6 star. There's 3 different levels. I don't know why they don't just do 1, 2, and 3. For some reason, it's 4, 5, and 6. But of the 4 stars, I love her a lot. She's like the lizard, maybe snake lady, and I really love the green that she's got going on. Her hood is very stylish. I actually really like the yellow accents for her. I think that works out nicely because her eyes have a bit of yellow in them, so that matches really well, as opposed to the yellow with our Shiba Inu from earlier that I didn't quite like the look of. I know it's their standard outfit, but it didn't work out for her quite as well. Whereas this is great. Oh, that tail movement is fantastic too. I know, it doesn't have horns or ears. We've got this going on. I like this a lot. There's also a bit from the hood in the back where they've cut out to have her ponytail come through. Which I think is great. So she's someone who likes to have long hair, but she's not going to let that stop her from putting a hood up over, which I think is great. She an alligator. That's true. She is an alligator, and I respect this as snake person. I think this is great. I also think that, like, she is very apparently, like, very fit. She's very in shape. I love her pose with the guns. I think that this is a very simple but very effective character design. I think this is a good example of how, like, more isn't always better. Like, this is very simple, but I think very striking, very effective, and I like this quite a bit. I think they've done a very good job with this. The next character I'm going to show you is one of the only, like, fully animal-looking folks that we've got.
I am trying to compose a bad joke for you.
This is Antal. He is someone who I like some things about his design. Other things, I don't know. I think that like the full lizard has some cool aspects to it, but his mouth is so very long. His mouth so very long. It's also one of those things where I have to wonder, like, now they've got me thinking, because he's got so much of the lizard bits, like, does it ever, like, poke through his clothes? Does he ever rip his clothes on scales? Like, what do we got going on under the hood, you know? Like, it makes me immediately wonder, like, what's the lifespan of his clothing? But yeah, I think that he is also very effective, very simple. It just makes me have a lot of practical questions for how things are put together with him. They actually have seen like prior incarnations of characters who look like this in Arknights. Then I do like the Endfield design of this the most. I think they've done a good job of selling him as a lizard man. Probably super durable fabric. That's the hope, right? I sure hope so, because, like, my God, I have to imagine that would be a nightmare. You're just trying to put on your shirt for the day, and you're like, oh, man, I ripped it again. Because they have some characters in the game, like, there's a panda man that exists in the game, and, like, I get it for the panda man. Like, he's fine, he's just got fur, but this dude, he got scales. He got hard scales. That's gotta be rough to actually put on like a sweatshirt and gloves and stuff. I don't know. It just seems hard. Seems rough. The one thing I would have liked to see even more with him is similarly to how we had actual claws that we were seeing before. I would have loved to see more of that claw action with this lad. I think that would have looked so cool. But he is also a very simple design that is like very like stark and recognizable. I think they have done a good job with this. On to the next one.
Still breathing. For now, I just want to do absolutely nothing.
Okay, so I know that she's not a polar bear, but I'm gonna be totally real. When I first saw her character, I did think this is polar bear at home. I did think this is Snowshine at home, and I'm sorry, Estella, you don't deserve that, but it's hard, man, when you've already got, like, white-haired, snowboarding kick-assery that's happening. Yeah, actually, hold on, let's go and take a look at her tail. No, that tail is not snow leopardy. I almost want to say, is she supposed to be like an Arctic fox? I'm not sure. I actually would guess she's an Arctic fox based on like the little like black edges around that. But I would probably say one of the weaker of their designs. I think that they could have workshopped her a little bit more just to make her look a little different from Snowshine, because we've already got a character in your opening patch that has like a very recognizable bear look. And then you've got her where I'm kind of like, is she lesser bear? Is she lesser bear? Oh, that's also fantastic to hear. You could check her race in her profile. Okay, hold on. Am I able to see that here? I might have to go elsewhere to go and hunt for that. Hold on. Let me go back here. Profile. Okay. Profile. Let's go. She's a feline? She's a cat. She's a cat lady. Well, they might have wanted to cook this one a little bit longer. I guessed bear and fox first before I guessed cat. So, yeah, while this might have been like solid B work in the absence of Snowshine, the fact that Snowshine exists, I think unfortunately does drop Estella pretty far down. Yeah, I know, right? She has like this tiny little tail. Very, very tiny that's going on. She's also just having a bad day. I know that she's really tired, but like I am not taking her into battle. She is going to like endanger herself or others. That's just no good. I can't do this to her. So yeah, probably one of my least favorite of the designs that we have seen so far.
We should be better prepared.
Okay, next up. I like some things about his design. I do like his floofy ears quite a bit. The blue hair is immediately very striking with a cute little white stripe down the middle. I think that's great. His ears are also close enough to his hair color that it kind of like blends together nicely, as opposed to our Shiba Inu from before, who I still love. I still love her design. He's kind of covering. Let me see if I can show it to you a little quicker. So, watch for his tail. He does have a tail. He's hiding it. He's hiding it behind that enormous sword, but there is a tail, a tiny little tail behind him. If I'm being brutally honest, he kind of has like shonen protagonist energy. In a way that, like, I don't know, it works super well for him. He, to me, feels more like one of the generic designs that they've got. I think they could have done a little bit more to add some character to him. I like some things with him, but, like, the fact that my immediate thought is, yes, he is the every shonen. He is the every young lad that I see. I don't know. I think they could have done some more work. But that's the thing. A comparison to Tainari is a good one. But I love Tainari's design in Genshin. They really knocked it out of the park. They did a fantastic job. Huge ears. That's the thing. I want to see more huge ears on some of these folks. Like, they had something really going with Amiya. They could do so much with the long ears. He's one of the knights in a town the isekai protagonist visits. Exactly. He does have that vibe. So yeah, I think it's a totally fine design, but honestly, with how cool some of the other base designs are for these 4 stars, like how effective they are, I wish they'd done a little bit more for him. I think that they easily could have, and they just decided to hold off. Just have the little scar over the nose and the ears, and the hair. That's kind of all he's got going for him. I'm sorry, Catcher. I'm so sorry, Catcher. So yeah, these are all the characters that I have. We do have a lot of other characters that I'm going to show y'all. Hold on. Let me see. Y'all are acting like I was going to forget these characters. I told you all that we would be making some polls for some of these folks. So we're going to look over some of these characters briefly. Before we head back to talk about some other designs. I am leaving the actual polls for the end here. But of these designs that we've got going on here, let me see if I can't do details. I want to actually look at operator preview. Here we go.
My crusade
perfect.
is far from over.
Excellent. Let's talk about some of the characters who I don't have, but who I still want to show off for this stuff. I unfortunately, was I able to get, I think there's 1 or 2 5 stars that I wasn't able to pick up, but obviously I don't have like any of the 6-star characters. You're right, it's Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. She's so close. So yeah, also good question. We'll talk about that when we get to the gacha, but the short version is that you kind of just have to gacha for the characters. There's a shop where you can actually pick up weapons, and they don't have an artifact system. They have a gear system, so you're not like rolling for substats or whatever. You're just like trying to build better gear. This game is like 50% RPG where you're running around doing hack and slash combos, and it's 50% Factorio. I'll show you folks that in just a second. But yeah, so we've got Ember. A couple of things that I immediately like is that this is a strong woman. Look at all of this gear that she's got. Holy shit. You can tell that this is someone who can easily like break me over her knee, you know? she can carry all of this heavy duty shit on her. This is a very strong person. And that works out very nicely for like her archetype as someone who is like carrying a really big great sword, and also helping to like take a bunch of hits and things. So also I do like this weapon that they have with her. I think it's super cool. I am a sucker for redheaded characters, but I think that they've done a really good job with her design for a couple of reasons. Not only is she like physically imposing, she's like got a really strong presence with all of this gear that she's equipped with. Her skirt is just like, she's just got a bunch of like defensive gear that she has just turned into an outfit. This is a woman who she's ready for battle, and she's gonna look very stylish while she's doing this. Yeah, aura maxing is a great way to put it. But I actually also really like that she's got the two different twin tails that are going on here. They're a little looser, so the actual like twist ties are a little bit lower. I'm a big fan of that particular design. I think that looks great. She's got a bit of blue that's running through her hair, which is nice. I almost feel like they could have pushed that even more if they wanted to. I think it looks very good as a nice contrast to what's going on with her. So yeah, huge fan of that. I honestly would have been okay with more red in her design. It's kind of right now very purely functional in some ways, whereas like she's got a lot of the RGB lighting in her weapon. Oh man, you know what? That's also so based, Sky. I wish she didn't have the heels though. Not a fan of every female character needing them in gachas. Yeah, that's the thing. She's definitely stylish, but I agree. We don't all need to have heels all the time. Do you know how hard it is to run in heels? I say to someone with a snake tail. I imagine that would be very hard. So yeah, some positive things about her design. She's very imposing. I would always love more red in designs though. Like instead of having like the greenish with her pants, if they'd made that red, I think that would have looked dope as hell. I don't know, even the body piece, if that was red, that would have been super dope. I'm just saying. There's some things they could do. I don't think that that is like a demerit though. It's just like some fun color stuff that they could have played with when they were making her design. As she is though, she is a perfectly functional, fully A design. Okay. We have Li Feng. I really, really like this design. I think this is super great. It's got like a really good energy to it in a similar way to how Ardelia had a lot of very floaty elements to her design. There's a little bit of floof here, but it's half and half. We have this robotic arm on one side, whereas we have a real arm with a floofy jacket on the other. I like that a lot. Some good asymmetry that we've got going on. I love the horns. God, Arknights does such a good job with the horns. I don't know what they do, man. They do a great job with it. Their character designers do a great job with the horns. I love his hair color. I love the eye color. The purple is so good. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm also a really big fan of the contrasting colors here. So something that a lot of folks will think about when they're coming up with character designs is whether or not they want to have similar colors or contrasting colors. Yellow and purple are on opposite sides of the color wheel. So having like the purple eyes with the yellow outfit, I think looks very nice. I like it. I like that quite a bit. Look, he's got boy shorts. I guess they're longer than boy shorts. I don't know, he's got a lot going on. His tail that's slightly gilded is super cool. I like that a lot. The actual short bits might have slightly too many like belt elements that are going on with it, but I don't know. I think it works for what he's going for. I think it comes together to be very effective. I'm a big fan of how all of this has come together. Maybe the orange, they could have swapped that for like a purple to match his eyes. I think that would have worked out nicely, but it's also not like a deal breaker or anything. All right, next up, I've already shown you all Ardelia. It was super, super adorable. He needs more belts. Don't forget, Yumi, belts mean more power anime logic. That's true. You all know well. More belts and bigger hats equals greater power level.
And I hope that our battles may bring about peace.
Oh my god, she's very adorable. Last was someone who received a lot of attention pre-launch. A lot of trailers and a lot of folks that were super excited for her. I think there's a very good reason for it. They have stuck to very few colors throughout her design, but look at this! Look at this! They actually have blue on her legs. They have blue that's running through her entire design. It's very effective. I also really, really love the little ear caps that she's got going on. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Tiny little bells that are going on as well, right next to her actual elf-like ears. I actually think there are elves and stuff that exist in this series, if I am remembering correctly. Another design where as an ice character, I don't know why some parts are missing the fabric. Is she not cold? Does she not experience this thing called cold when she uses her ice powers? I don't know. I don't know for certain. But yeah, I like the whole, like, all the way from, like, the base of her legs all the way up to the top. The fact that that's all, like, the one big boot leg unit. I imagine that would be super obnoxious to get in and out of, but, like, it looks very good. She is this thing called built different. Yes, no, she is. Look at her tail, too. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool, the way they put this together. Her weapon also looks pretty dope, the way they have put this together. But I do just keep thinking, how is she able to deal with all that cold? Yeah, no, I think this would be very uncomfortable to put on. But she wears it well. This is the lengths that these incredible people go to. To wear these crazy designs. Oh my god. No. This is a preview that we're looking through. I don't actually have these characters. Just to reassure you folks. My gacha luck has been improving with Hoyo games, but I'm not that lucky.
Let's go over the battle plan once more, shall we?
And the last 6-star that we're going to talk about here, before I hop on over to one more screen, is our lad, the Pog Champ. Oh, man. So this is another character who existed in the original Arknights, but has been reborn in Endfield. He's got a pretty starkly different design this time. His original design had a lot more white in it. They've kind of flipped that. Now he's got a ton of red and black, and you all know that I love me some red. Yeah, I agree. I do wish that they'd kept the beard. I think it's okay for characters to have beards. I feel like we shouldn't be afraid of having characters with beards. I think it would be totally fine to have some facial hair going on. I don't know if they're trying to go for him being like younger, I guess, and not having the beard, but I'm just saying, it could have been. They could have gone for that here. Here's what he looks like when he pulls out his red sword. I don't know. You can tell that he's well decorated. He's got a lot that's going on here. But I do think of the... I probably should have prepared a whole slide for this now in retrospect. But I think of the like evolutions or reimaginings that they've had for characters. His transition, I think I like the least. I think I preferred his original Arknights version. It's not like this is bad. I don't know. I did like the older, rugged aesthetic that he had in the original Arknights, whereas I agree, y'all calling him an Ikemon. He does kind of have that a little bit. I don't know. He's kind of got like this Imperial soldier vibe going on here too, and I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. There's some stuff that I think I did prefer with his original design. I'm sorry I didn't think to put that in the slideshow. But yeah, I figured I'd at least shout out. This is what he looks like here. He's also so horribly pale. It's a very stark contrast to his actual outfit. I think that would be less noticeable if he wasn't wearing all black. But I actually think that the black just highlights how, like, uncomfortably pale this man is. Is he ill? Is he just like that normally? I'm not entirely sure. Just Google him. Why did they take the beard away? He looks so much cooler with the beard. That's what I'm saying, man. Oh, you all are incredible. I'm so glad that you all are on board. Okay, so these are like the standard characters. Let me show you all real quick. We talked about her already, but let me show you.
Looking for me? You finally remember something?
So here's Laevatain. As we talked about, her dress is literally caught on fire. She is someone who is on the front lines. I like a lot of the, oh God, the magenta frills are very, very good with a lot of this. I really love this design. I think that the horns are great. It's almost like blending in really nicely with the rest of her hair because there's a bit of red that's at the very base of the horns that makes it a lot easier for you to believe that like it's part of her head, you know? It's a nice like blending effect, which looks very good. I think that this whole design is very striking. They've done a great job with how this all looks. And the black, I think, works really well because it contrasts really starkly with the magenta and the red. I actually don't mind that the magenta and the red are very different between her hair and her dress. I think that the fact that she's got a little bit of magenta in her eyes helps to tie it all together. That's something to keep in mind, is that generally if you can marry two different parts of a design, like take this magenta, take the red, and kind of put them both together in some part of the design, it helps a lot. And her eyes are a really good example of that. So I think they've done good. Oh, hold on. Went too far down. There we go. And there's her very rugged sword. I don't know how well that's actually going to cut through things, but it looks pretty cool. It does look pretty cool. I don't know. The heels are way too high, but I do love the magenta that's at the bottom. I think that that's a very nice touch. It almost would have been cool if they had like some more flame motifs that would have gone through some of this. I do think that her sword could have looked a bit more flamey. I think that would have been a really cool touch to this. But honestly, I think this character design is like a knockout. I think they've done a very good job putting this together. And also, everything I've shown has been very well animated from start to finish. They hired a lot of very talented animators to put these folks together, and it really shows. They've done a great job putting this stuff together. Okay, so I've shown you all a bunch of the characters. I've talked a little bit about the gameplay for this. So this is 50% like going around and slashing stuff. So you've got skills you can use with your characters. You can have 4 people on your team that actually do various things. You can command them to do. There's all sorts of reactions and synergies that are pretty straightforward to figure out. I haven't found it to be too difficult to put together. If anything, I do wish that I could remap some of the controls, because using a controller, I really wish that I could have this like menu that pops out to do skill info. I really wish that that was an RB as opposed to LB. And I can't find a way to remap that, so that's unfortunate. But it takes, once you kind of get past that point, I think it gets a little bit easier. The big thing that I think folks were not expecting is that there's a huge factory portion of this game. You create gear, you create consumables, you create all kinds of stuff, and you do have to care about the factory portion. It's like 50% of like the game. Even if it's going on in the background, like you have to make a lot of conscious effort to actually have a functioning factory that is doing things. So the factory must grow, Yumi. So I do know that some folks were not anticipating that, and that, you know what, I don't blame you. This is pretty different from a lot of things. Yeah, I think if you are into that kind of gameplay, there's a lot of things that you can do, but if you're not, it's non-negotiable. You have to do this. It's not like a side mechanic, it's a core mechanic to how they do things. I downloaded it for the factory. Optimize production rates. This was sponsored on the factory. Yes, no, that is correct. So yeah, you know, that is actually a fair point. If you're someone who you're not sure if you're gonna like it, you might as well give it a try if you're interested. I do have some caveats for trying this game besides this that we're gonna get into shortly. But it is worth like seeing if you are interested. I know that this has largely been an art review up to this point, but I can't help myself. I have to talk about gameplay elements. I have to talk about that too, because this is also talking about the game. Like, we've been talking about how all of the character designs inform you about what type of world they're living in, right? And the world that they're living in is the world of the game. So, yeah, speaking of, I think that we've done a pretty good job of walking through the cast. Things that I have liked, things that I would have loved to see them push even further, or like maybe add some more design elements to things. It is now time to talk about the penguin in the room.
Carve a path for us.
Okay. So let's talk about the Endministrator. So hopefully I've done a decent job up to this point of trying to talk through design philosophy, as well as things that I personally have really liked. Obviously, art will always be subjective. It is something where even if you have really great design philosophy, it will ultimately depend on the audience. But I think that there's some core design things that we can talk about here that I have seen echoed online. That are worth talking about. So, this is the protagonist character, the Endministrator, the resident penguin. Of all of the designs in this game that we have talked about, I actually think this is the biggest missed opportunity. I think they played this design way too safe. And to talk about this more properly, it is now time. I'm sure the game will be like, you're inactive, but it's fine. It's time to return to our PowerPoint. We have a protagonist to talk about. Not enough belts. So to talk about some of the design missteps, I think, that they've made with the Endministrator, the protagonist. We return to our PowerPoint once again. Let's first talk about, for comparison, because I think it's a good comparison to make. This is the protagonist from the original Arknights. This is the Doctor. As I mentioned, the Doctor is trying to find a cure for oropathy, trying to help people who have been afflicted with it so that they are able to live better, happier, continuous lives. And although this is pretty simple in some ways, I think it is very effective. As the protagonist, their face is covered, but I think this is very effective for like, it's a bit of mystique, which is good. It's also a world that is very harsh and very unfriendly to people. So having a helmet like this is practical for safety reasons, as well as like helping the Doctor to continue living as well. I think that the Doctor is very recognizable for folks who are familiar with Arknights. We've got like multiple layers to the Doctor, which are just strictly functional. Also, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for my wonderful Genshin fans. You folks are just coming out of nod cry like the Doctor. No, I promise it's a different one. It's a different Doctor. So yeah, I think this is an effective functional design. It's nothing super flashy, but it's very recognizable as the Doctor. There's no other character that looks like this in Arknights. And it's very quick to be like, oh yes, that's what this person is. Also, this person looks like a grown-ass adult. You can believe that this person is a doctor. This is a person who looks like they have been around the block. They've lived for a while. They have some expertise in their field, perhaps. Like even just the pose that they've got going on for the Doctor here, I think is great. Someone who is like ready for things, but also like comfortable in their own skin. I think that this works very well. So let's talk about the Endfield protagonists. Maybe they have a child face too underneath that particular helmet. You know, that's fair. I don't know that we'll ever know. It could be 3 Tanuki in a coat. Yeah. So I booted up Endfield with some familiarity with how Arknights works, having played some of it. I am not an Arknights expert. You all have like very kindly corrected various animal facts that I have gotten wrong. But I do know enough that going into the game, I was like, okay, so I know that this is taking place some period of time after the original Arknights, and that whatever our protagonist is going to be very involved in everything that's going on. And then the opening screen had you pick between the two protagonists, male or female. And I looked at them and I was like, huh, teenagers, huh? Okay, I guess that's a choice. Maybe we're like the children of like the people in charge, or we're like a part of like a resistance force, or you know, something like that. I also immediately was like, they're playing the design pretty safe. I think too safe. Like they still have like a similar huge coat for both of them. They have very like muted colors that are going on, but like, I don't know. I'm not sure that I'm a huge fan of the mask, you know, but I guess I'll see how things go as the character progresses. Here's what the mask looks like up close, by the way. So yeah, I think that this design is playing it too safe. I think that like making it so that you can kind of see what's underneath is already hurting the design a little bit, because you can tell like how young this person looks, as well as like, why are they wearing the mask like that? I don't understand how that goes. It's actually so dark, like even though it's got a little bit of yellow that's on the edges, you can see it very easily blends into their hair. It almost looks like they have like the hair helmet going on. So like even without like silhouetting or anything, this is already like, I think not as good of a design. I think that they are like trying to make this a broad appeal, and they're playing it way too safe as a result. However, this person, I kid you not, they are the Endministrator, or the person, like the CEO, who is in charge of the entire Endfield operation. And not only are they the CEO, because you could be like, well, okay, so maybe they're like 18 to 20, I guess. Maybe they're young. No, this person is like minimum, I think math says minimum 28 years old, because they have been in a coma for like 10 years. So at the beginning of the game, you're in like the coma dreamscape, like going through and learning the combat mechanics, and then you emerge and Perlica is like, you've been in a coma for 10 years, and you're like, what? That's the thing. I refuse to believe that this person was in charge of this company prior to being an adult. Then if they were, like, what does that mean for Endfield? What does that mean? That would mean that you had a child in charge. Like, this is crazy. This is some crazy world building they've done. So all I'm saying is they had a perfectly legit basis for having a character who looked like an adult be the main character. Then instead they played it really, really safe. Went for a character who looked like a teenager so that they could try and bring in a whole bunch of young people to play this. And like, it just clashes. It clashes really hard with who this character is supposed to be. And I say this as someone who is very short. You all know I complain about it constantly. I am a very short person. Who is in my 30s, then like I am not opposed to having a short adult to be in charge of things. The problem is that she is just not designed like an adult. She is designed like a teenager. The male version is very comparable to this as well. Both of them look like teenagers, and I think that's a problem, so... CEO at age 5, retired by age 10, reinstated by age 18. That's the thing that I'm terrified of, is they're gonna be like, oh yeah, no, Lamau, she's like 18 to 20. And I'm like, what do you mean? That would mean she was in charge of Endfield when she was like 10. Oh, God. So yeah, I don't know. It's not like people who are adults can't look young. I'm just saying that it does have some issues with like the place of power this person is supposed to have. When you look at this person on the right, does this scream CEO of a planet, the imperial force? Like, I don't think so, right? She lied on her resume. That seems normal anime logic to me. But that's the thing. Arknights has not operated by normal anime logic. They have had a lot of really solid character designs. You all deserve better. You all deserve better. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of, an unsettling bit of world building is that the Endfield crew are like clearly imperialists. They talk about how they're doing this great thing by showing up on this planet, introducing Originium to it. Well, as far as I can tell, they're the only source of arypathy medicine. So they, like, caused a pandemic on a brand new, well, it's technically a moon, but, like, people are living here. They caused a pandemic, and then they're like, Lamau, give us your money and we'll free you. We'll make sure you have the medicine to live. So, like, we're kind of not the good guys, I think, is my conclusion from all of this. And I just wish that they had baked that design of the CEO of the not good guys a little harder. Oh, God. Russell Bucket. Thank you so much for the very kind donation. To be fair, the CEO of Rhodes Island, excuse me, and the OG Arknights is Amiya, and she's roughly 16 at the start of the story. Yeah, but she wasn't in a coma for 10 years. That's all I'm saying. The original Arknights is very much like, I buy it more because they're all in a desperate situation. They all need each other a lot. Then people who should be living otherwise normal lives are being forced or weathered like by the pressures around them or like the needs of their community. They are put in positions of power that they shouldn't have to bear, you know? Like, it's sad that Amiya is in that position. I think that that's a tragedy that she has to be in charge of so many people, that she's a source for people to, a source of leadership and kindness in an otherwise unkind world. So yeah, a very fair point, but also, Amiya Amiya wasn't in a coma for 10 years. I have to wonder how old this character currently is, because I don't think Amiya was the CEO when she was 10. The fact she's a CEO at all at such a young age is a huge problem. And if they're still doing that, like if the main character of this was the CEO of like this crazy empire when she was like, I don't know, 6, that's a problem. Originium shenanigans. It was always the Originium. That was the cause of everything. It was the cause of them being okay with having the Endministrator on at such a young age. Oh, God. So, yeah, there's definitely some sinister undertones that are going on with the Endfield crew, even though this is definitely a more welcoming world for a lot of folks. There is also the question of, I do wonder if maybe the Endfield crew are not necessarily the good guys here. There's a whole bunch of memes online right now where it's just like the Endministrator, who also has amnesia, who is like, oh yes, I don't remember anything from before I was in a coma. And they're like slowly putting all the pieces together and they're like, wait, are we the baddies? Yeah, exactly. Are we the baddies? And Perlica, a bird lady over here, is just like, no, we're totally fine, Administrator. Don't worry about it. And you're like, Perlica, do you have something you need to tell me? Perlica, I'm concerned now. Oh, God. But the factory must grow. Oh, God. I suppose the factory must grow. Perlica demands it. The factory must grow. Some other things that I do want to mention that I would also like to see, not just in this game, but in other games when it comes to character designs. I've already talked about how I really wish more character designers would just like actually have people of color that they have as characters. I think that there's so much cool design space for that. And it's just like, it's an absolute shame to not actually play in that space. Have more people with different skin colors. I think that's super, super cool. In addition to that, I would also like to see more fully animal Arknight characters that are not just men. Because that's kind of what we have right now. This isn't just an Arknights problem. This is a problem across a lot of like anime adjacent media where people are like, oh yeah, the men, it's okay if they look like full animals, but the women always have to just have the ears. And you're like, come on, man. There's so many cool things you could do with female animal characters. That would be so dope. I think that would be amazing. So yeah, this is something that I would like to see more of. It's a problem in the original Arknights game as it stands, and it's obviously going to continue to be a problem in Endfield, but this is just my broad appeal to like character designers. Please be okay with having more like fully animal characters if that exists in your setting. I think that would be super dope. Oh, God. So, yeah. Yeah, also, this character on the right is called Waifu. And I mean, she just is, right? I mean, she just is. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think that this is coming from a design sensibility of like not wanting to like play things too unsafe, and I just would like to communicate to people that the masses do want to see this. So yeah, no. Actually, Sukitsune, I was just about to mention, Hoyo has been doing a lot with, like, the fully animal characters, and they've been doing a great job. I would really love more franchises to do more of that, because, like, my God, I have been a huge fan of the fully animal characters that they've been playing with. They've done a great job. Oh, yeah, Pulchra is great. Pulchra's so cool. She became a fan favorite almost immediately. Oh. And then, I do have one more thing that I'm going to say as we head into this. One more thing that I would like Arknights, specifically the Endfield team, to work on. Something that I think you folks should should also keep in mind. Thank you all. I'm so glad that you all enjoy my PowerPoints. It's beautiful. You know, Pulchra did kind of break the internet. And I mean, I feel like the people should have taken positive things away from that, being like, yo, let's do more of this. Don't let the UB PowerPoint end. No, it's okay. I got pulls for you after this as compensation for the end of the PowerPoint. This has been really fun, y'all. Oh, we should do more of this. It's really fun to talk about character design. The last thing I'm going to end this with, before we do a bit of Gacha for you folks, the more pressing concern than anything we've talked about so far, the Endministrator's design, the fact that there's not more fully animal characters in these games, the fact that I'm not sure what Enfield's goal is, and that I'm very concerned about them being the super bad guys. Spreading oranginium everywhere. You all should be aware of something that went down when Endfield first dropped. It unfortunately has only spread in certain parts of the community, and it is something that you all should really be aware of. Is the monetization. Okay, so I don't want to dampen the hype that you folks have for everything that's going on in Endfield, but it is my responsibility to make sure that you folks are like being safe and protected. And when Endfield first dropped, the optimization for PayPal was so catastrophically bad that if you bought something using your PayPal account in Endfield, it would pull the money out of someone else's account. So that was fun. Endfield revealed a fun vulnerability of their payment system. Also a fun PayPal issue. I would say that even though this has been resolved, I would maybe wait for some official statements on this, because I cannot in good conscience recommend that you put time and money down onto this game when this happened. That they did stop all integration with PayPal once this was discovered. They did they did release an official statement. I don't know that I would call that good enough, if I'm being honest. Because, yeah, a bunch of people are not aware that this happened. The statement was also, oh, this was an issue that only affected some users. I would argue this is a catastrophic failure. That does need to be addressed. Like, it doesn't need to be something where they talk about like the coding or things like that, but it does need to be made clear, was this the fault of PayPal or was this the fault of Endfield's system? Because I don't know, the fact that this hasn't necessarily happened with other games does make me think that Endfield is somewhat culpable for this, even though it was PayPal as like the interface. So I would like more of a statement about this that fully goes into like what went wrong, what they're doing to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again, whether it's not integrating with PayPal at all, whether it's like being careful for other systems. So yeah. And that's the thing, if it does end up being just a PayPal side of thing, that's totally fine. But like, this is a problem that this happened at all. This, kids, is why you never test on live. So yeah, I would just keep an eye on like the official social media. I personally was not satisfied with the statement that they have released on this. I would like an additional statement talking about this. I think that it is the least that they can do just to reassure folks, because like the fact that I'm still worried about this, I don't know. I am concerned about this. Besides that, another thing to talk about, is the actual gacha system. On one hand, it is awesome that you can create a bunch of gear and you can actually pick up weapons and things, so you don't have to rely on the gacha system as much. But the actual gacha is more expensive than some other gacha systems, which I think rubbed people the wrong way. And I understand that. I completely understand. Let me go show y'all. No. Let me click back onto this real quick. Yeah, they have so many different currencies for this. Let me go pull this up for y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see it. I have on my filter, which gets rid of my UID, but they have multiple different currencies just to like make gacha pulls and things, where even if you're coming from other gacha games, I think it's... it took a little bit for my brain to wrap around. So it takes more actual currency to get to a full 10 pull. So one single pull is 500 of like their base currency, as opposed to like some other modern gachas. And the like pity for it, it's more similar to something like Uma Musume, where the pity doesn't transfer from one banner to the next. And I think that folks who are coming from other games are like maybe not as like on board or familiar with that, and I think that that is fine. I think that is fine for folks to like not like that as much. That's the thing, the original Arknights was crazy expensive, like for all of the pulls. I don't know. Even though they've made it slightly cheaper for this, unfortunately, I think that they have underestimated how many people are coming into this from other gacha games, and are not favorably looking upon this. I don't think that they're going to change this system, but it is a bummer that the pity doesn't transfer from one banner to the next, even with like how many polls you need. I shouldn't say how many polls. How much currency you need to actually make polls. Oh god. So yeah. It is rough. So yeah, I would still say if you're interested in playing, I think that it is still fine to play. I just wanted to make you folks aware of this. And I also think nuance is really important with games like this, you know? I think that like it is disingenuous to just like fully talk about the amazing things of a game without talking about the negative aspects. I think that's a disservice to you all. You know, you can still like Endfield, but have some gripes about how things are working. I have some gripes with how the PayPal situation has been handled. I have some gripes about the way that their poll system is set up. But there's still plenty of fun things for folks who are interested. I do think that it is a lot more friendly if you do want to be free to play. I just struggle currently to encourage people to sink money into this, not knowing exactly what went wrong with that, because that's a pretty crazy error to have happened. So yeah, I guess the time is something that we're going to have to see with this, but this is why I'm bringing it up. I think that it's important to talk about this sort of stuff. As far as the gameplay is concerned, I personally, I think I prefer Zenless more, but that's sad because I can't play Zenless. Because it makes my carpal tunnel worse. So this game is much better on my carpal tunnel, but there's enough things that remind me of Zenless where I'm like, damn, wish I could play that. Oh man. So yeah, but that's just me, you know? Like, if you're at all interested in any of these designs, if you're interested in trying it out, I've seen a bunch of people who have bounced off stuff like Zenless who have really liked this instead. So that's not to say that just because I haven't enjoyed this, it doesn't mean you will. It's just like, Yeah, it's something for you to give it a shot. I do think that the game renders really well. It feels really smooth when you play it. I've seen a lot of folks who have played it on their phones pretty reliably, which is very surprising. I'm pretty blown away with it. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested. But yeah, a lot of the people who are the most into it have also really, really loved the factory element of it. And the fact that you can actually pick up weapons for your characters without having to gacha the weapons. I think that's a huge plus. There is technically a gacha system for the weapons, but like you can just buy... You can just save up currency and buy weapons. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you might like be interested in doing that, but I think it's just the thing to do. Just save up currency, buy weapons you're actually interested in. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of cool potential with this game. And I hope that you folks understand that just because I'm talking about some of the negative aspects doesn't mean I think it's a bad game. I think it's a game that has a lot of really cool stuff in it that does have some things to talk about. So yeah. Yeah, no, it does. It runs really well for the size of the map and number of things going on. I know, it's really impressive. Whatever engine it is that they're using for this has been very impressive, the way that they've rendered things. But yeah, it's worth giving a shot if you are interested. I will say, I do think the story of the original Arknights is better. That's just me, though. I really liked the original Arknights story. I think they did a good job. So, I don't know. And maybe you'll end up enjoying Endfield quite a bit too. But I do think the story is definitely, for me personally, a little weaker in this compared to the original. But also, you don't need all of that extra context that I've given to, like, hop in and play this. It's pretty straightforward to kind of figure out what's going on. They do have plenty of options for you to skip through cutscenes and things if you just want to get right back to the factorying. So, yeah. I have heard that Wuling is pretty cool. I haven't made it quite there yet. I was really hoping that I would actually be able to get there, but I've just been pretty busy with stuff. I'm happy I did actually get to the point of having enough polls to, like, have some gacha that we can do together here. But, yeah. So, yeah. I hope that this has been helpful for folks who are interested in all of this stuff. So, yeah. It's been real good. It's been real good talking with you folks about all this. All right, y'all, let's hop into this. We're going to make some polls together. I'm going to make some polls on this banner first. I think I only have enough for a 10 poll here. But then I will actually be able to pick up a 6-star operator off of this. I don't know that I will regularly be playing this. I just have too many gachas that I have to keep up with. 4 is kind of the limit. I have enjoyed getting to look into this, though, checking out the character designs and everything. That has been really fun. I really want to do more stuff like this. I think that will be really fun. But yeah, if you folks are interested in more streams like this, I would love to do that sort of stuff. I think that'd be super dope. Yeah, I know. I don't know how I'm doing 4, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know how I'm pulling it off. But I think that it is always worth shouting out games like this in case you folks are interested. Also giving you some fair warning of some stuff as well. I saw you folks saying that, like, the original Arknights was pretty generous with stuff. And obviously that's something that we're going to have to see, like, as time goes on, how things are. But yeah, this is kind of like first impressions material. I'm willing to see how things go as time goes on. Yeah, no, it's true. This one does eat up a lot of time. And if that's something you're interested in, then that's super dope. All right, let's do this. We're going to start with this first, and then we'll make some gacha polls on the beginner banner here. Away we go! Let's go. They're coming in for a landing. Let's do this. Excellent.
Opsy 7 Skirmisher, Fluorite. Got anything to say? No?
I love your design, Fluorite. That's what I've got to
How about we
say.
just call it a day?
Captain Akakuri of Operation Team Z7 reporting in. The operations dossier, budget summary, and action plan are ready for review. Which would you like to read first?
I would like to read the report on how you're a Shiba Inu. You're very adorable. You know, we have not actually done a Hoyo character review. It's something I've thought about doing. I actually am considering doing a tier list stream for members here in just a little bit. I think that will be pretty fun.
Captain Akakuri of
All right,
Operation
we have
Team
seen
Z7
her.
reporting in.
Precious.
Endal of Opsy 7 reporting for duty. I've studied Originium automation and occasionally help with modifying or repairing Originium devices. You may approach me for such tasks.
Damn.
And I have a question for you. What is the material of your mask? Carbon fiber?
See, that's what I want to know. If you can tell me, that would be fantastic.
Captain Akakuri of Operation Team Z7 reporting in.
Got another copy of our
Captain,
Shiba girl.
Op Team Z7. My role
It's
is
our
giving the team
protagonist.
cover and logistics support. I specialize in defensive operations and I'm good with the blade. And I hope I'll be an effective addition to your team.
Thank you, Catcher. I'm sorry for calling you an isekai protagonist. Or I guess no, he was the person that we, as an isekai protagonist, meet in one of the villages. He's one of the village people.
Opsy 7 Skirmisher, Fluorite. Got anything to say?
Captain Akakuri of Operation Team.
Let's go.
Why do
I think
have
I've
to
shown.
do
Oh,
this
here's our
again?
last one. Last 4-star.
Greetings, Administrator. I'm Estella. And please don't give me physically intensive assignments. Thank you.
Of course, Estella. I promise. Polar bear at home.
I am Ekert. Call sign is Arklight. I am not a trained weaver of words, but I wish you well, and may you flow like a rising river, Enfielders.
Damn. Thank you, Arklight. I appreciate that. Excellent. So that was our first banner. We're gonna go and pick up over here. They do something similar to what Star Rail and company have started doing, which is wonderful, where just like by starting out, you will get a guaranteed 6-star. I don't know that this game is super easy to re-roll is the issue. The beginning like tutorial bit to actually get all of the pulls that you need for this, it took me several days. Like, if you're just, like, jamming through it, like, the playing for really, really long sessions, you could probably pull it off in a couple hours, but, like, it does take a while to actually get all of the pulls for this banner. That being said, I think that some people have tried to do re-rolls, so more power to you. All right, let's do this. Away we go. Ooh! Damn, some people are doing it that quickly. That's crazy. I was gonna say, I am impressed with anyone who's been doing re-rolls on this. I'm someone who doesn't re-roll characters.
Endal of Opsy 7 reporting
Whatever
for duty.
I get is whatever I was
original-
meant to get. It's fine. It's
Captain
fine.
Akakuri of Operation Team Z7 reporting in.
I do also think that this game has enough, like,
To do this again.
good synergies for characters that you don't need to re-roll.
We meet again.
Hey, there he is!
Engineering problem? Put it out. Consider it fixed. And I will be even happier if there's canteen work for me.
Oh my god, wait, you all are right. He's not wearing pants. Why does he have the belt then? Why does he have the belt? Is that where he's putting his weapon? I don't know. I don't know. he has the belt, but he's got it. I love his sunglasses, though. I think that's fantastic. The belt does equal power. That's true. Wait, that's also true. How are the sunglasses staying on? He doesn't even have like the little stems on the side. Maybe it's like a magnetic panda power. You just put it on and it just like snaps to his face. Oh God, it's for the spices. You know, I guess that's fair. He's gotta hold him somewhere. Oh God. Excellent. Excellent. Magnetic panda power. Oh, God. All right. And onward we go. Our last set of polls just for you all, for being so kind and being so awesome during this. Let's do this. Oh! 6 stars coming home. There we go. Oh, we got some 5 stars on this one too. Oh! Good God! The red!
Oh, look, we meet again.
Hey! Panda Man, our lad.
Consider it fixed, and I will be even happier if things continue.
Thank you so much, Dapan. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. Ooh!
Catello Wolfgard Lupino, Endfield Crisis Team. I'll represent the pack. Give me any merc job, and as long as our contract stands, I'll be your claws and fangs.
This is also great because you all get to hear all of their starting lines too. He's our Italian man. Oh man! Let's go. Away we go.
Captain Akakuri of
Getting those copies.
Z7.
Our Italian wolf,
Z7
yes.
reporting for
Catcher, Op Team Z7.
Oh, they're making us wait until the last one.
Got anything?
We're hitting hard pity on this for the beginner banner.
Seshka reporting in for duty. My name, I mean my codename's last right. Just call me that.
Oh my God, she's so adorable. That animation was great. From what I am familiar with, she is also quite powerful as a damage dealer. My God, she's a wonderful, fantastic. Well, folks, this has been absolutely wonderful. We brought the blue lady home. They're one of the people whose character designs I loved a lot because they integrated tons of blue into all of her design, as well as adorable little ears. It's so wonderful. Ah, this has been fantastic. I know this is a little shorter than some of my regular streams. I say that as this is like 2 hours long. But this has been super fun to hang with you folks. I'm glad that you all have enjoyed talking through the character designs for this. I'm glad you folks have been enjoying the factory elements of the game. I hope you all continue to enjoy as this game continues to go on into the future. I'm really glad I was able to share a bunch of my thoughts for this stuff, because I think a lot about this when I'm playing these games, but I don't get to talk about it quite as much, and I'd like to do that a lot more. Yeah, no, thank you all. This was great. I'm glad you all enjoyed the Yumi PowerPoint, too. I had a lot of fun putting that together. And yes, of course, that's the thing. That's like, it is my responsibility as a content creator to make sure that you folks are like safe, that your money and your time and your energy is well spent. And so I always want to be as honest with you folks and like as nuanced as I can with this stuff. So thank you all for like being super awesome. It's wonderful. I can't wait for the next PowerPoint stream. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, That's wonderful. I'll have tons more planned for you folks. In the meantime, it might be the last stream of the week tomorrow. I was really hoping that we were going to have the Star Rail live stream at the end of the week, but they still haven't announced that, so I feel like it's not happening this week, and I'm devastated. It means we have to wait another week, but it's okay. I can wait longer. I can wait for 4.0. In the meantime, though, we will be doing a drawing stream tomorrow. I'm going to be drawing a bunch of my friends. I've meant to do that for several weeks now, and stuff has been pretty crazy in my life, so it has been pushed all the way back until now. But I hope you folks enjoy. It'll be a nice Satsudan stream where I'm just chatting about stuff and hanging out, drawing some really cool people. So yeah, it's going to be wonderful. You folks are absolutely fantastic. I know, those poor folks, they're doing their best over there. I'm just over here being like, oh, I hope soon. Soon we'll be able to see what they've been working on. Oh, but yeah, in the meantime, I've got an art stream this week, and I've got some other cool stuff that I've got planned the next couple of weeks here. So look forward to that. I think it's going to be super dope. Magical! Thank you! $33! Nice strum! No, thank you all for the nice strum. This was absolutely wonderful. A glorious strum, talking about all kinds of fun character designs. So yeah, thank you, folks. This was wonderful. You all are so goddamn kind. Thank you. Oh my god. Alrighty, you blessed people. Until I see you folks next, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you folks very, very soon. Oh, it's you, me.